we are going to take a look at the basic financial and auditing requirements that you need for your export operation. What are the different types of export financing that you need to know and you need to have? First, you have the pre-shipment finance, which is the amount of funds required for the purchase of raw materials, components, and parts to fulfill the sales order. So whenever you have a sales order that you are going to ship outside the country, you need to actually purchase the raw materials and the different components to be able to build your product and proceed with production. So this is what we call the pre-shipment finance, which is the financial amount required for you to be able to produce the product. The post-shipment finance, it is the amount of funds required to finance operations during the period between the dispatch of goods and the receipt of payment. So here, you need to know that you need to keep on financing your operation between the period of dispatch of goods. So let's say you are taking the goods out to, let's say, to China, okay, by sea, and they require maybe 2 months for them to reach China. So the dispatch of goods has been done today, and it will be performed within 2 months. So the client will receive it in 2 months. So in these 2 months, you will have to have enough financial or enough money for you to be able to keep on going with your operation until the goods reach their destination and you cash in your money. And the working capital, it is the amount of finance required for day-to-day operations such as labor costs, equipment maintenance, and overheads. So how do you get those finances or that money? Where can you get it from? First, you can get it from commercial banks, actually help companies in their export procedures. So financing can be a major source of funding for managing and developing your export business. The second source you have is venture capital or VCs. So it's typically something that is kind of a partnership that you do with an investor. So these venture capital will actually invest in your company, or they will finance in return of an ownership in the company and then a percentage of your earnings at the end of the year. So venture capitals are basically, they will come and tell you, okay, we will give you $1 million, for instance, for 20% of your business. So not only do they own 20% of your business, but they will also cash in 20% of your earnings by the end of the year. And finally, you have the supplier and the buyer credit. So this is when you actually are on good terms with your suppliers and where you can ask for a kind of a credit allowance, which will allow you to actually pay for the goods or for the raw material after a certain period during which you would have already cashed in your money from your clients.